Russell Bishop, a suspect in the murders of 2 girls, was detained almost immediately. But due to errors in the investigation, the man had to be released. The criminal was nevertheless sentenced, albeit after 32 years. On October 9, 1986, 2 9-year-old girls, Karen Hathaway and Nicole Fellows, disappeared from the Mossacombe Estate, Brighton, England. Karen and Nicole were best friends. That day the girls came home from school and went outside to play. At approximately 5 p.m., Nicola's mother saw the girlfriends. This was the last time she saw her daughter alive. A little later, the girls were seen by a 14-year-old neighbor, although it was not near the house, but near shops in the Lewis Road area. A friend told Karen and Nicole to go home because their parents would worry. But Nicole ignored this and called Karen to the park, apparently meaning Wild Park, where girlfriends were not allowed alone. At 7:30 in the evening, the girls were seen in the same place, on Lewis Road, not far from the police post. Late in the evening, the parents sounded the alarm and called 999. A group of volunteers consisting of police officers and neighbors was organized, and a helicopter was also used. The bodies of the missing children were found the next day hidden in Wild Park. Both girls had been abused and strangled. 20-year-old Russell Bishop, who took an active part in the search for children and even offered to use his trained sniffer dog, came under suspicion. The police found many inconsistencies in Bishop's testimony, and the man was arrested. A photo of Bishop taken on the day of the search has been preserved. The young man is clearly in his thoughts somewhere far away. I wonder what he's thinking about. Maybe he dreams that this crime will not be solved. Someone remembered that they saw Bishop near the police checkpoint, when the girls were also seen there. The man was wearing a light blue sweatshirt at the time. Russell Bishop was born into a large family. His mother, Sylvia, trained dogs and was quite famous in this field. She was reputed to be quite a powerful woman. Studying was difficult for the boy. He was later diagnosed with dyslexia and sent to study at a special school. At the age of 15, the young man ran away from there, hitchhiking home. At the time of the crime, Bishop was 20 years old and worked as a roofer. During the investigation, it turned out that in 1984 Bishop had already come to the attention of the police. He had stolen a radio from a car. He was fined £200 for this. Bishop's trial took place in 1987. After a 2-hour deliberation by the jury, the defendant was completely acquitted and released. Bishop called himself wrongly accused and managed to sell his story for £15,000 sterling. It later became clear that a number of serious mistakes were made in the investigation. For example, pathologists were unable to determine the exact time of death, and without this data, Bishop's alibi could not be questioned. In addition, fingerprints were not taken from the girls' necks, and the blood found on Nicole's underwear was not tested. The main evidence against Bishop was that same blue sweatshirt, which was found near the railroad tracks. The investigation believed that the man got rid of the sweatshirt on purpose because he could be identified by it. Russell's girlfriend, Jennifer Johnson, claimed that the sweatshirt belonged to Bishop, but at trial she gave completely different testimony, saying that she had never seen this item on her boyfriend before. The girl also stated that she never said otherwise and that this evidence was fabricated by the police. Moreover, this lady later stated that the girls' fathers were involved in the crime. Some of the witnesses saw Karen and Nicole alive at 6:30 p.m., and some at the same time saw Bishop leaving the park. All these shortcomings allowed the defendant's defense to cast doubt on the charges against him. In 1990, Bishop committed a similar crime, this time against a 7-year-old girl. The data and the sources varies. Somewhere it is indicated that the girl remained alive, somewhere that she did not. This time the crime was proven and Bishop received a life sentence with a minimum term of 14 years. That is, after 14 years the man could apply for parole. In 2005, amendments were made to the legislation, according to which new evidence allows re-examination cases like the 1986 case. This was not possible before. In August 2012, forensic scientists conducted a DNA analysis of the blue sweatshirt and found out that the clothing still belonged to Bishop. They also carried out DNA analysis of traces found on Karen's left forearm, and here, too, they found a match with Bishop. Why the investigation took so long, history is silent, but in May 2016, Bishop, serving a sentence in Franklin Prison, was charged with the murder of Karen and Nicole. In December 2017, the acquittals were overturned, and on December 10, 2018, Bishop was found guilty of murder. This time, the prosecution proved that the girls were indeed alive at 6:30 p.m. and, in addition, the results of DNA examinations were presented. On December 10, After 2.5 hours of deliberation, the jury returned a guilty verdict. On December 11, 2018, Bishop received 2 life sentences with a minimum sentence of 36 years. By the way, Bishop never pleaded guilty. Bishop's girlfriend, Jennifer Johnson, was also punished, although several years later. In May 2021, the woman was found guilty of perjury and sentenced to 6 years in prison. Johnson is currently serving his sentence in a maximum security prison for women. Postscript: Bishop died of cancer on January 20, 2022. He was 55 years old.